Welcome to Talking with Sapna. Today we're going to be talking how to prepare your children for this new normal that we're going into. In every country, things are moving differently at different rates, but there are so many things that our children are having to navigate and understand, just as you are having to navigate and understand it as well. But we're getting to that point where routines are starting to get set and there's more of an understanding around the best way to operate and how our children need to operate. And depending on which country you're in, some countries are getting ready to go back to school. So how is it that we now get our children's mindset prepared for what they're going into and this world that is going to be different to what they're used to for many reasons, aside from the fact that from a health perspective, we have to be a little bit more vigilant than what we've had to before. And I got asked recently a question by an educator around how do we prepare our children for this? Mentally, how do we get them into a mindset where they start to adjust and find their fit in all of this? And see, the thing is, when there's something unknown, it's inevitable that all our effort and time is going to be focused on talking about that unknown. And that's what has happened with the virus. We've been talking a lot about what is concerning about it, the restrictions and how the restrictions have been so intense on us, and that's normal. And you have to acknowledge that there is difficulty in it. And mentally, it messes with people. It's hard. But as we try and prepare our children and talk about mindset, it's about acknowledging difficulty, but not getting stuck in difficulty. And so as we move to this new COVID normal, as they call it, it's about going, okay, we know there's certain things that are different and are more difficult because it's not what we're used to. But it's about teaching your child how to flip their mindset and change the story. To look at, well, what are the good things that have come out of this experience? And I know some of you must be thinking, yeah, everyone always tells us focus on the positives, but right now I just want to focus on the fact that it's really hard. And please don't get me wrong, it has been hard. On you, on your family, the balancing act that you've had to do, it has been hard. However, there have also been good things that have come out of this for you, your children, and your family as a whole. And as we start to get our children ready to go back into some sort of normal, it's about getting them to stop and look at what the small things are that have gone well. So often, you focus on the big goals. And as children, they're going to focus on what they're missing out on, what they've lost as a result of being in lockdown for so long or not being able to see their friends. So what we want to do is shift their mindset to focus on actually the good things that have come out of this experience. Because whether we want to admit it or not, there have been some good things to come out of this experience. And it's about identifying what those good things are for you and your family. And so it's about sitting down and saying to your children, what are the good things that have come out of this? Because what that also does is it allows you to create new habits and new routines and new things for your family. Because you would have learned things about each other, things that you love, but equally things that really annoy you. And it's not been easy. It's had its challenges. But it's about going, well, what works for each person in this family? What's a good thing that each person took away? And how do we actually take those things and make them part of our daily routine and the norm of how our family operates? I know when it comes to small wins, it's something that I have been doing for myself. I have a little jar that sits in my lounge room, and whenever something good happens, I write it down, something that has been good out of this whole experience. And it's something that when I'm on story time, I'll stop and I'll ask the children who are on there, what's something good that happened this week? And it might be as small as I played with my sister or we went for a walk. Sometimes for me, it's that I went for a walk and found a really beautiful flower. But it's about shifting mindset to the little things. Because you start to realize for you and your children that it's the little things that actually mean more. That when we shift this focus to the things that we already have, then all of a sudden we see the situation differently. Because when your children are focusing on what they're grateful for, the time to go to the playground, to go for a bike ride with a friend, what it does is it moves them away from getting stuck in the things that they haven't liked about being in this situation. And that mindset, that gives hope. And what we know about hope is that when we have hope, when your children have hope, life seems so much easier to navigate. I saw it in my students at school all the time. When there was hope that things could change, they were more willing to give it a go. And this was for anything, when they were trying something hard. So take a minute to stop with your children and go, what are some of the good things that have come out of this? And when you ask your child to look at those things, it creates a level of hope and calmness within them. So give it a try and see how you go. See how those mindsets start shifting. Don't forget, if you have a question that you'd like answered, post it under this YouTube video, get in contact on social media. I'd love to hear any questions you have that I could answer for you. So get in touch. Don't forget that I do offer one-on-one coaching services for families. So if you do have any questions that you want answered just for you and your family, then please do get in touch through the contact information at the end of this video, and I'll be happy to help you.